True Crime Streets of LA is a game about the life and times of Nick Kang. Oh, you want me to make a super funny internet joke here when you already did? No thanks. I'm not about to disparage the race that Jesus belonged to. That's right. Anyway, Nick Kang is a wise-cracking, street-smart cop who plays by his own rules. He's cocky, charismatic, and funny. It's a grouping of character traits clearly meant to endear me to this filthy pig cop. The period of time in which True Crime was released is one defined by Grand Theft Auto and its innovative, immersive, free-roaming experience. Activision wanted to catch the open-world do-what-you-want wave like every other video game publisher, and we got this. It feels very much of its time. Crucial gameplay functions have not aged well, but there's a few well-preserved aspects for every one decade. Nick is partnered with a spicy La Raza Chica and is immediately thereafter tasked with mutilating ethnic stereotypes with their culture's eating utensil of choice. Here the game introduces its martial arts mechanic, a distinct departure from the source material from which True Crime extracts its influence. Nothing too complicated, but it's the most enjoyable aspect of the game. Combat is far, far beyond the shallow depths of hand-to-hand combat offered in other genre contemporaries. Kicks, punches, combos, and even grapple attacks are a button press away. Stun the opponent with enough of them and you earn the privilege of performing a special move. Environmental damage often occurs during hand-to-hand combat sections. These sections look like a fighting game but play like beat-em-ups. In every visual respect beyond animation, True Crime's cinematic experience is hindered by dated graphical quality, but its dialogue and voice acting are as good as ever. Several notable actors are credited here. Christopher Walken serves as the game's narrator.
If it isn't the Kangster Kang Meister Kang-a-lang a ding-dong.
Free roaming in True Crime is comparatively de-emphasized, but randomly generated crimes in the city encourage it to a degree. Answering these calls are optional, but successfully detained suspects earn you points that reward you access to skill-building minigames. You also gain points by killing people during missions. Every 100 points earns a badge, and one badge buys you one attempt at successfully completing a skill challenge, which are found at various locations. Complete a skill challenge and earn upgrades for shooting, hand-to-hand combat, or driving. Dog bones scattered throughout the map lend some extra incentive for exploration. The skill upgrades are crucial to True Crime's success. With each upgrade, the game itself upgrades. Initially, the shooting mechanic is a mess. Your character aims at a sloth pace, and it's difficult to switch targets when more than one bad guy is shooting at you. Switching targets never gets any easier or more functional, but the auto-aim does a fair job. Zooming in to shoot specific limbs on an assailant is also hit and miss. The game prefers that you perform neutralizing shots on suspects, which are ostensibly achieved when pulling the trigger on a green crosshair. I didn't find much success doing this, so I eventually stopped bothering. The take cover mechanic is almost completely useless and dysfunctional. In all the game's methods of combat, this is the worst aspect of it. In most situations, you have the choice of performing good cop actions and bad cop actions. Killing suspects and civilians are bad cop actions. I was once deducted good cop points for killing a drug dealer. Should your good cop, bad cop skill drift too far into the red, do your best to handcuff suspects instead of giving them the death penalty. This requires some de-escalation of the situations you encounter, but maneuvering the controls to do so isn't the easiest thing. One way of preventing suspects from running away or attacking you is to fire shots into the air. You click the left thumbstick and press the right trigger to perform this, but only when your guns are not equipped. This is confusing because this same button combination should do the same thing regardless of context, as no action is assigned to the left thumbstick click when your guns are drawn. If you couldn't already tell, True Crime has a handful of noticeable mechanical problems, but they're annoying rather than game-breaking. While you have free reign of the map most of the time, True Crime is episodically structured. It's a hybrid of linear and open-world gameplay that efficiently moves the story from place to place. This is great because the cutscenes between missions are really fun. It's also great because instead of chasing down mission icons and advancing the story forward by way of your wanderings and pursuits, the story comes to you. The particulars of the story aren't really important, but they are there if you want them. What's important is that I'm doing kung fu with bums, fighting Chinese butchers under a portrait of Mao Zedong, and shooting at flaming Cyclops ghosts. Who cares about lore, deep fantasy realms, and other banal escapist claptrap? I don't. Just give me cool stuff. I I don't want or need to think too hard about a world that exists only in the abstract. We've talked about the game's shooting and the fighting, but what about the driving? Well, the driving is driving. It works well and there's some racing segments here and there, but it doesn't make an impact, good or bad, on the presentation. More notable is that the developers included numerous stealth missions. I'm glad the Luxoflex team kept it simple here. It's not Splinter Cell or even a Flash game, but it's fun to put baddies down for the count with a backslap. The missions and open world exploration feel almost like two different games. Not a bad thing, but you can tell which aspect commanded more love and attention by how they look. The small limited interiors that serve as mission locations look great. The drab vastness or vast drabness of Los Angeles is apparent upon exploration, but its generic look is magnified when compared to the detailed mission interiors. The open world features not one stealth segment, and this absence further cements the feeling divide between True Crime's linear missions and the huge overworld accurately defined by urban sprawl. I really enjoy a good soundtrack. I'm happy that True Crime has one. Tons of great old school and contemporary hip hop is here, but some heavy metal here and there makes an impact as well. While Grand Theft Auto divided its soundtrack with in-game genre-specific radio stations, True Crime's playlist integrates all genres that Los Angeles bands and artists impacted. It's a great collection that acknowledges the city's history as it relates to music. I really enjoy quality video game soundtracks because they give their attached games a different feel, a different texture and attitude. Maybe True Crime's issues are a function of time past, perhaps its problems were just as problematic in 2003, but wherever the truth is positioned, I enjoyed revisiting this game I remember enjoying all those years ago. Great voice acting, funny dialogue, and tons of personality everywhere else. Still a good game, still recommended.
You make big mistake.